Thanks for locking in with 77 Flavors of Chicago. We're your hosts, Dario.
And I'm Sarah, and I hope you're ready to learn with us.
Hey, today we're talking about the Christmas tree ship that was destined for Chicago.
Did it ever make it? We'll find out.
We'll find out.
On today's episode of whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
230?
Damn.
Yeah.
Guys, 3.5 years
Yeah.
of not every week. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. How y'all doing, first of all?
Oh.
Very good. Glad y'all doing good. All right. What
Can
would
you
you
just talk about it? Send us an email.
It's a DM something.
I'll respond. I promise. What I was going to say is my favorite podcast only does 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and then takes the rest of the year off. They do 10-week seasons.
52 for 3.5 years straight.
Yeah, well,
That's crazy.
they have a whole production team too.
Right. Like,
We don't.
And they still ain't doing 52. You know what I mean?
But theirs is hard. Well, I guess it's not harder, but theirs is hard because they have to. People send in stories and they have to retell those stories. So you're filtering through people's emails.
That shit easy. You just got to pick one.
Yeah.
We not only what we do, 52 weeks strong, right? We research all the stories ourselves. We come up with a topic. We have to research that topic. And not only do we do this audio, but we go out and we do video, which this week, y'all, ain't no video for this one.
This one, let's start by talking about how I've had the most tumultuous. What's 48? What's after 48 hours?
56.
Okay.
50.
You know, whatever 48 plus 24 is. 60.
I mean, 60. Boy, well, I'm fucking up. 72.
72 hours. I knew that. 72.
Yeah, right,
People say 72 hours. Yeah.
What's wrong with us? Sound
3
stupid
days.
on this podcast?
That's why we have to do it every week.
Yeah.
We're 72 hours.
It's been crazy, y'all.
We had a little housing emergency, and it's just been shit.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It's been crazy.
We didn't sleep in our own house for
We recovered though.
2 days.
We recovered. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we recovered. We still here. Christmas is almost here.
City boys up.
City boys up. We stay up.
Yeah. But other than that, it's been pretty good. I feel like we had a bit of cold weather, and now it's like
Warm.
it's warmer.
Chicago warm.
Yeah, it's 50.
Yeah.
Which is I'm in a t-shirt.
For sure. Yeah, with a light jacket.
Which is like such a shift in mindset for me because if you guys don't remember, I'm from the desert.
Yeah.
And so for me to be in a t-shirt in 50-degree weather, it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. And what's even crazier is as a Chicagoan, we used to the cold.
Yeah, I feel like at this point in my life, I'm good.
I mean, but
I've
like
been here for 15 years.
what I mean, like back in the day, you know, I mean, at this point, December,
Yeah, it would be snow.
December 17th, 16th. Man, this shit is up to your knees, and you gotta walk in it to go to school.
That's true.
Man, like this is way different, man. Like,
It is global warming, y'all.
yeah, for real. So, like, I'm taking all this, this energy.
That's why you shouldn't have kids, so that you can enjoy this, but they won't enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna enjoy years, decades from now. 'Cause shit, it's gonna be Florida up here.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, they're going at this rate. Look,
You're right.
Our summer's already a bitch. You know, like, our summers are just crazy. Anyway, yeah. So
Yeah, but let's jump into today's.
you said forget all the shenanigans. Let's just go right
I
to
don't really
it.
have any other updates.
Yeah, we didn't do Hot Take Tuesday the last couple.
We didn't do Hot Take Tuesday the last couple of weeks. We've been doing the 30 and 30.
That's been going
which
crazy.
is a lot of engagement already. So I was like, let's just focus on that. We did 30 names in 30 days. So we're doing 30 neighborhoods / community areas and telling you the history about them and where the name originates from. So if you want to engage with that, it's on our YouTube, our TikTok, and our Instagram. So
And Facebook.
On Facebook, yep.
And,
I always forget about Facebook.
Shit, I ain't, because like all my notifications. First of all, y'all, I ain't got no friends no more. So like my Facebook
Our Facebook is linked to your page.
Yeah, but
so
like
I don't see.
Yeah, but the thing is like, you know, Facebook, you get notifications from the people that you follow, right? And I got multiple pages. Now that page has been going for a long time, but like it ain't been hidden. All my notifications is nothing but 77 flavors.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. If this didn't prove that I ain't got no more true friends on Facebook that engage with shit, this is proof right here.
I'm only on Facebook for the Buy Nothing group, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
And just like the neighborhood drama.
Yeah, I'm only on there for you. I think I said that on this podcast. Like, only reason why I still even have a Facebook is because 77 flavors.
Yeah, right.
I can't delete it.
Yeah, you can't. But you don't use yours.
I don't. I mean, I just post a little bullshit here and there, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
Like my sister ain't on there. Not my sisters. They on there, but like they ain't engaged. I mean, like
No
they
one-
they don't use it. It's not like they're not
No one-
engaging. They don't
Do you
use
know?
it.
Do you know what the dead internet theory is?
What?
It's a theory that says the internet, like everyone on the internet, isn't real. Like it's just like AI engaging with AI. Which, if you're on Facebook, that feels so real.
I mean,
because it's all. Here's the thing. I scroll through like the groups because it's funny.
yeah.
But every once in a while, I'll venture on my Facebook wall, and it's like AI images of meals
Yeah.
of like the weirdest shit ever, and it's all like people that seem to be boomers, like engaging.
You know what pisses me off too? So you mentioned AI because you're right. It's 100% right. It's nothing but boomers that be engaged and people outside of Chicago. There's
Yeah.
this one page that the city of Chicago or whatever it's called. It's like Chicago America, some shit like that, and it is AI images of Chicago. They got this one, like they got images of the
Didn't they
Hancock.
have one where like the Hancock was by Buckingham
Yeah,
Fountain?
man, I was like, and there was people on there talking about, oh my God, this is a beautiful city.
My beautiful Chicago.
Yeah,
First
right.
of all, if
Bruh.
this is your Chicago, you know this is not what
You
the shit looks like.
What? And it pisses me off all the time. I don't follow it. It just pops up in my
Yeah,
feed.
just random. The things that pop up, and sometimes things will pop up and they'll have like 300 likes. I'm like, this is not even like a viral post. Like,
Yeah.
why is this showing up on my page?
Yeah.
And I don't ever engage with anything. So the algorithm makes no sense.
Real people only mess with the other social media platforms anyway. So like, I'm mad that I even attach my shit to 77 like that. Like, there's got to be a way to like
sure there is.
disconnect my shit. But
But
see, here's the problem though.
You have to have something.
You got to, yeah. I could never do any of the ad shit. I could never
Right.
do any of the admin stuff if I don't have mine.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know.
Anyway, now that I kind of slightly, take myself off.
Let's talk about Christmas.
Let's talk about Christmas. So if y'all been around here, if you listen to it, if you whatever the case may be, we did a story on the Chicago Christmas tree
Last year,
right around this time. Matter of fact, could have been. I think it's probably the
It was
Monday
probably
before.
the Monday before because
Right,
it's when they lit the tree.
Yeah. So we, or actually, that probably was November though, because they light the tree in November. So we probably did it around that time.
Oh, that's
Now
possible.
that I think-
That's right.
Anyway, we did an episode on the history of Chicago Christmas tree. So if you remember that story, if you don't, there was a story about a boat in Chicago's history with lumber and Christmas tree shipping.
Yeah.
And that's what this story is today, because it is actually very sad.
When we
crazy.
did the story, we talked about the tree itself.
We did, and we mentioned this boat.
Yeah, but we didn't tell the story.
The catastrophe, but we didn't tell the story. So here's the story of that ship. Okay, so after the Civil War, Chicago, we mentioned this too, that Chicago was like the lumber capital of the world at one
Right.
point. And I know a lot of people probably like, that's not that. Here's it.
No, it's actually very true.
Very
Yeah.
true. And we started to receive like wood and lumber from Michigan and Wisconsin.
Right, because that doesn't necessarily mean that we were growing the trees. We were just
Right.
processing the
Yeah,
lumber.
yeah, and we're gonna get more into that because we were heavy into it. Now this is after the Civil War, so you have to think about 65. Chicago's still trying to build up stockyards, starting to pop. You know what I mean, about to really get cracking, and so that's the mindset Chicago was in. You needed the lumber plus prime location, man. Chicago has always been prime location, always will be a prime location for like ports and hubs and shit like that. So that's what it was. 1871, the fire. Okay, Chicago still needed wood immediately because we needed to build up housing for shelter and people that were like
Right, because like
homeless at that
the
point.
ordinance went into effect, but
Later, but
not that quickly.
Right. We needed to build up.
something.
Yeah, we needed to
because
build.
we had 100,000 homeless people.
Yeah.
if I remember,
And-
displaced and like people that lost their homes.
And you got to think that was heading into fall winter. So October 8th, the 10th is when it stopped burning.
Yeah.
So
It's about to get cold.
It's about to get cold. So you need that lumber real quick. So that's what happened. Chicago started to really boom, and boats started arriving from Michigan and Wisconsin. Now here's a fun fact: the lumber business was so huge here, y'all. It was so massive that Chicago was one of the busiest ports in the world for. And now here's the even crazier part about that. In 1871, So after the fire, and you only got 3 months. you got three
Barely.
You got 2 months and 3 weeks,
Yeah.
right? Chicago shipped more ships came to Chicago for lumber than New York, San Fran, Philly, Baltimore, and Charleston
Wow.
combined. All those combined.
Crazy.
So you gotta think Chicago would not only were we like a hub for, and it was a prime location, but Chicago was like, nah, we building up real
here's
quick.
why this makes sense, because if ships were coming into like New York, if they were coming into California and that stuff, they're coming from other countries.
Yep.
If something is coming into the port of Chicago, it's coming from around the Great Lakes. So
And being distributed.
right. So like when it's a faster trip, if you're waiting for ships coming from other places in the world,
You'll be waiting.
it takes much longer. I mean, yeah. So that does make sense in terms of just geography.
Yeah, especially at that area too. You gotta think had it been this still continue, right? Like in Chicago, you got Canada right there too.
Right.
The shipment of that Chicago would have been
Yeah, I mean, it connects that you could just come off the canal.
right there up that upper peninsula area. You right there. Now let's talk about the boats, right? The boats that were coming in, right? So it was a lot of not necessarily barges back in that day,
Right.
but you had big ships. A lot of them were called schooner vessels.
Okay.
Schooner vessel is a boat that has like 2 or 3 masts.
Oh, gotcha,
so
gotcha. Yeah.
so they look like pirate boats,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like old school kind of boats, and they're smaller vessels, really intended for quick type situations and kind of like easy stuff. So
Right.
that kind of paints the picture for you. The particular boat and schooner vessel we're talking about today is the Rouse Simmons boat.
Okay.
Some quick stats about it. It was built in 1868, and it served Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Like I said, it was a schooner. It had 3 masts instead of 2. It was a 3 mast. It was 123 feet long, about 205 tons, and it was owned by August and Herman Schooneman. Yeah. I practiced that one.
These
that one-
German names.
That shit kicked my ass while I was doing these notes, to tell you that much. So I got it right. Now, this boat was primarily used for Christmas trees for the surrounding states. So it literally packed up a bunch of lumber. And Chicago had a port, right? I think it was just called the lumber port, right at the mouth of the Chicago River,
Right.
is where the boats on normal throughout the year would come and just drop off lumber right there at the mouth of Chicago River. And so this boat was particularly for shipping Christmas trees. Now that you know the history of that boat, right? It worked for a long time.
I was just going to say, I wonder how long it worked for.
So built in 1868,
Okay.
1912. November,
okay. Long time.
November 22nd, 1912, on a trip back to Chicago, okay? It was docking out of the close to Wisconsin, upper Wisconsin, right? Way up there.
Yep.
Captain Schooneman took basically a risk. And I don't want to paint the picture on this dude, but from what I read, several sources,
He did something he wasn't supposed to
no,
do.
you knew that the conditions were bad for this. But this is November, right? You got to keep in mind this was a business also.
Right.
So you gotta get this because you need the money. You know what I mean? Like you need the trees to ship and everything like that, the lumber. So you got to take your chances, right? That's what he did. Upon doing so, right? He was told not to do that, not take the risk. But what he did was this is weird. It's like really sad. The boat was headed back to Chicago. So what he did was he said, "Hey, look, anybody that wants to go home and be with family,
No.
hop on the boat, right? Hop on the boat. let's do this run. We gonna make our way through." I think they had, and I could be wrong, but I think there was intended to be another stop at another port along the way, but it ultimately was going to Chicago.
Gotcha.
Okay. So 16 people along with him, right? I think it was all of them, 16 total, crew people were on this boat. And the boat just went missing, right?
Like,
It
just went missing?
It just went missing, right? and nobody knew what happened.
How did they track boats back then? Because they didn't have like radios or.
So I'm gonna get to that because this is it's kind of sad. So check this out. In 1923, Captain Schooneman's wallet was found by a fisherman in his net near Two Rivers, Wisconsin, which is which is about 16 miles off that coast, that seaboard, right? And the remains of the boat was found 12 miles northeast, 165 feet down. So a diver found it.
This is on Lake Michigan, right?
Yeah, Lake Michigan. So check this out. So now to answer your question about what happened, because there's a whole bunch of mystery around this. Like to this moment, to this day, they don't necessarily know the actual detail because you're right. I mean, this is early 20th century. You know what I'm saying? So the thought process is, and what they know happened when the boat went out, right?
Okay.
It had its flag up. The last time that it was seen, it had its the danger flag, or like, hey, distress flag. It had a distress flag up, and so that's what was seen. So what happened was I think it was another port, another like Coast Guard type style thing, saw it, right, and sent out a boat to them and was like, hey, we're gonna send a life raft out to y'all to help you out because we see that distress, but they couldn't get there fast enough. Choppy waters. It's cold as hell. It's November. You know what I'm saying? So the initial thought process is that the waves were so crazy that it engulfed the boat, and the boat just froze up because all the water, the cold water, just froze up. However, they say that boat went missing on a clear day in clear conditions.
Damn.
So now you got people that are like, wait, what the fuck happened?
Boat?
Yeah. What really happened? Archaeologists and things like that have studied and been like, hey, we really don't know what happened. We know the time frame of what's going on. There's timestamps of, what might have happened to the boat and all that kind of stuff. But today, right, that boat is still in that location right now.
But they haven't found it.
No, they found the boat.
Oh, they found the boat.
The boat. They found the boat. That's like a diver found the boat. After they found the wallet, a diver was like, well, let's go searching for the boat. They found the boat. And what it looks like, and this is where it's crazy. This is where it's crazy. It's 6 miles north of some location. I didn't write that down, but it's Manitowoc County up in Wisconsin, right? So it's 6 miles off of that little region there, still there. And it's still a mystery. People really don't know what's going on. But another theory that people are saying is that, look, there was a lot of trees on there. And so when they did the research, it looked like the boat almost not had broken in half, but like the weight of that stuff. So people are like, maybe the weight of it probably contributed to what's going on, right? The trees was there, right? And so they searched that. But here's the crazy part. Here's the wildest part about them when they found it. I think to this day, don't quote me on, but there are still trees bundled up neatly on the boat.
I feel like it's cold enough that it would preserve.
Still got needles on them.
Damn.
So they looked at that and they
because they're not like deteriorating.
Right.
I mean,
and so they looked at probably a lot of moss, a lot of shit like the sea life that's grown on it, but it's a living thing. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
not really,
right. It's cut off, right? But like, you know what I mean? Like,
I wonder if that's actually true.
No, it's true.
It is.
Yeah, it's true. Like the Wisconsin
Show me
board.
A picture.
Yeah, I think you can see picture.
Okay, I'm gonna try and find it and post it on our stories if I find it. So check back for that.
Yeah, but it is literally there, and that was so crazy to me. Now y'all probably like the Chicago part of it. So that boat, like I said, was headed to Chicago. Okay, that was 1912. It was headed to Chicago. Obviously, didn't happen. You know what was supposed to happen that year?
What?
Chicago's first ever tree lighting. the Christmas tree that we were going to light
Was on that boat.
was on that boat.
Damn, I do remember that.
Instead, Chicago started that tradition a year later, 1913.
Which is remind us of what the tradition was.
Lighting the tree in the park.
And
go back and listen to that episode.
And the tree is donated from a family.
Yes.
Instead of being brought on the boat. I did want to throw in some facts about Lake Michigan just to give people the perspective, because a lot of people don't understand how
big.
large Lake Michigan is.
Big.
I think because they think it's a lake. Lake isn't referencing the size. Lake is referencing the type of water.
The type of,
right? So it's non-salty water. It is 307 miles long, 118 miles wide. It has a surface area of 22,300 square miles. It is the third largest of the Great Lakes. It is 279 feet deep with a maximum depth. Oh, that's the average. And the maximum depth is 923 feet. It is the only Great Lake that's entirely within the United States. So it's bordered by Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana. It the shoreline is 1,640 miles long, and it has islands in it, and it has the world's largest freshwater sand dunes are located along the coast of Lake Michigan. The ports that it touches are Chicago, Gary, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Muskegon. And it's terrifying to look at. Yeah. It's just so, and it has such a diverse ecosystem. It's it has a ton of shipwrecks. Yeah. It's very hard water. You think lake is like, because it's not connected to like an ocean or something. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I always thought of like choppy water being like ocean. It's such a large thing, and winds are coming. But no, that could still be very choppy.
Very. Like, and what I mean, that's literally what happened in this story. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
so a ton of shipwrecks.
Yeah, I don't doubt that that's what happened to this boat. Unfortunately, you know,
said a clear day though. Somebody was like, "Man, fuck these trees," and poked a hole.
You know what's crazy? you know what's wild, man? Is like, listen to that story. There's so much mystery, and obviously technology back then wasn't where it needed to be. They'd have made this trip
several times.
Decades, 4 decades, 5 decades. You know, you making this trip.
Maybe they just didn't inspect the ship and it was deteriorating.
And the ship was what, 42 years old or so? You know what I mean? Like, it was
more.
Old. Yeah, 44.
50. Didn't she start at 68?
68, right? And it
oh, I guess, yeah, 44.
Yeah, final voyage was 1912.
We suck at math today.
I mean, I was on the point with that one.
No, but you remember when I said what's 48 plus 24?
Yeah. I said, what's funny is if we could run the tape back, I said 72, and then I was like, no, wait a minute, that don't seem right.
You did not say 72.
I did. Hey, run the shit back.
Right, you run it back. You're the editor.
I will. I will for the people on this one. Anyway, yeah. So that's the story of Chicago's Christmas ship.
Yeah, but if you want more Christmas stories related to Chicago, we actually have 2 other episodes. So we have the tree episode, and then we have the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer episode.
Yeah, we do, and
the Christkindl Market.
Yeah.
So
we got a lot of Christmas episodes.
We tried to do one a year, so check those out to learn a little bit more about the history. We only have 2 in this one, so 3 because the first year we were still doing the community areas.
Yep.
But yeah, we did. We joined Rudolph and Christkindl. And we did the tree.
That was a good one, actually.
Yeah, that was a really fun one. We went to the Christkindl at Wrigley, which isn't happening anymore, unfortunately. But
this year, at least, I think there's a reason why it stopped just this year.
You think? They must have
Chicago's budget, boy.
They must have booked Wrigley for other stuff, because remember you used to be able to like go in there and they had like
Mayor Johnson with that budget was like, hey, look, 300 million in the hole. Sorry.
But doesn't the Christkindl, isn't it its own thing? Like they budget for
I think so, but I
don't think it comes from the city budget.
I don't think so, but we got to have some kind of foot in it. Shit.
Anyway, if you did enjoy this episode, please share it with someone you love. It's the best way to support us. Make sure you check out our Instagram, our TikTok, our YouTube channel. And I hope you have a great week. If you did not enjoy this episode, that's all right. Check back Thursday for a throwback or Monday for a brand new
We only got 2 more episodes this year.
2 more episodes this year, so make them count. Well, we'll make them count for you.
You know?
See ya. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you loved it.
And if you could, please follow us on social media at 77 Flavors Shy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you have any ideas or deep dives that you'd love us to do, please contact us at media at 77 Flavors Shy. That's the number 77 Flavors and Shy for Chicago.com.
If you like visuals, please subscribe and follow and watch us on our YouTube channel at the same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, or search 77 Flavors of Chicago.
If you would like to support us monetarily, go ahead and click that Buzzsprout link in the description of this episode.
And as always, we gonna see you next week. Peace.